the in after independence. So when we talk about all these urban developmental programs, we can say that after independence, because before independence, each and every bin was fighting for the uh, country's independence. So late after independence, the government of India has introduced 5 year plans. Means for every 5 years there was a strategy and a planning, and on the things which have to be focused on in the coming 5 years. So in the first 5 year plan, which has come up in the year 1951. So from there on, every year, in every 5 year plan, the government of India has come up with innovative strategies and planning to eradicate poverty, and also to address the urban poor, or the challenges which are faced in the urbanization. Because the increasing population in the cities was a major challenge for the government, we can say. So when we talk about the 5 year plans, when we talk about 5 year plans, they have mostly focused on the community development and slum development. So they have focused more on, the government has focused more on the community development and slum development. So later on, in every 5 years, we have seen more of innovative programs or developmental programs which have given focus, or which have focused more on the developmental aspects. But later, the major we can see after the national developmental programs after the year 2014. So because after 2014, we all know that the planning commission was scrapped, and the Niti Aayog was constituted. The Niti Aayog was constituted, as we know that the Niti Aayog is a think tank of the government of India, which comes out with innovative policies, and innovative programs for the development of the poor, and as well as in the economic development, social and economic development of the country. So when we talk about these national development, we can just we also can talk about the economic the new introduction of LPG. The economic reforms after 1990 also played a very important role in the developmental programs, and have given, or we can say, has paved the way for the developmental aspects. So when we talk about these national developmental programs, after from the year 2014, the government of India has focused more on the urbanization, or the challenges, or we can say the developmental aspects of urbanization. Because we know that the as the years are passing on, the more of population is migrating to cities in search of livelihood, in search of better living standards. It might be in the aspects of education, social life, or the economical standards. So in this regard, 2014, in the year 2014, the government has introduced, or the government has launched many important programs in the urban areas, for the upliftment, and for to address the problems, or we can say to address the challenges of the urban poor, and as well as the urban sector, or the people residing in these urban areas. The first and foremost we can say is the smart city mission. Now this, what do we understand by the term smart city mission? Smart city mission is a comprehensive development. It is a comprehensive development of physical, social, and institutional infrastructure. So I'm using the terms physical, social, and as well as the institutional infrastructure. So that is providing of better educational facilities, provision of better water facilities or better basic facilities or transport facilities, housing facilities. These are all the means all round development, focusing on the all round development of that area can be. Now, for example, if we take Hyderabad is a smart city, and in Telangana, if we talk, the Karimnagar is also considered, and it has made way for the smart city, that is transforming itself to the new parameters or the new addressing new avenues. So this can be a milestone for that. So we all know that Karimnagar, Warangal, these are all the districts in Telangana which have transformed themselves into a smart city. That is, smart city means where they how they have transformed themselves. That is, in the parameters of welfare, in the parameters of, we can say, developmental aspects. That is, providing of better infrastructure facilities. That is, better transport, like providing better roads or flyovers, or we can say transportation facilities, better drinking water facilities, sanitation, better educational institutions, more of industrialization, better opportunities, which these all can be, this all can be considered as a comprehensive effort to transform the a city, a small city into a smart city. So, as we all know, that Hyderabad is a smart city, and now we can say Hyderabad now as a cosmopolitan city and a metropolitan city as well, because we see n number of people from all sorts of life living in Hyderabad. So, the smart city concept mostly focuses on sustainable development, sustainable environment, or water supply, basic facilities, all this. That is, a comprehensive means overall development, bringing everything onto one platform, comprehensive. So, to address the problems of the citizens who are residing in the urban areas. So, Smart City Mission, which was started in the year 2014 by the Government of India, was a big hit, I can say, because it has transformed many small cities into big cities, whereby now why this has come up, why, what is the reason to make or transform these small cities into big cities or smart cities is, the major obstacle was the migration. It means to stop migration from moving the that we can say that when the people are migrating from these small cities to bigger cities, to stop them from moving from these small cities, to address their problems and to make them stay where they are. For this reason, the government has started this innovative urban developmental program known as smart city programs or smart city mission, which has transformed a small city into a big city or a smart city, thereby providing all the necessary facilities for a common man to reside there only and not to migrate to the huge cities. That is, the basic thing behind this is the people should not migrate to the cities for their livelihood. Make them where they stay where they are. That is a major thing of the smart city mission. Then the second urban development program is Amrut. Amrut, the full form of Amrut is the Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. Now, this Amrut mission is also a very, very important and innovative program, urban development program, which was launched in the year 2014. Well, now what is this program all about? Now these are all the programs, whatever we are discussing now, these all were are the central government programs, because as we all know that the central government is the prime or the central decision making system, which has to take care of each and every citizen and each and every state and union territory. So it is a comprehensive one. So the central government, these all programs are the central government programs which are being introduced or launched for the development of the whole country. Now, what is this Amrut? Amrut, as I told you, Amrut is the full form of Amrut is Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. Now, what is this mission all about? It is to bridge a gap. This mission was started to address the bridge, or to address the gap between, or to the gap which is existing between the infrastructure needed and accessible to improvement. That is, what is there and what has to be taken, or what has to be addressed and introduced. So to bridge that gap, because what is needed and what is more needed, what is accessible, there is we see there is a huge gap, because the common man, each and every person might have their own real problems and challenges. So by this program, the government has tried to address and tried to bridge a gap between the infrastructure, that is what is needed for the now. For example, there if the transport facilities or whatever it is, to address to bring together everything what is needed and what can be accessible, and to improve, that is if they can go for more and more things which can be addressed at that level. That is another second important program. Then we have the third one, Swachh Bharat Mission. Now we all know, now Swachh Bharat Mission is of two ways, that is Swachh Bharat Mission rural and Swachh Bharat Mission urban. Now, in the Swachh Bharat urban, when we are talking about Swachh Bharat mission, it is, what is this Swachh Bharat mission? This mission was started on the Gandhi Jayanti on October 2nd. So this is about Swachhata, that is cleanliness, keeping surroundings clean. We all know that, and we have experienced the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, where cleanliness was more important. Why? Because the cleanliness, how clean we keep our surroundings, that is directly proportional to the healthy lifestyle. That is keeping the airborne diseases, waterborne diseases, or any of the diseases at bay, we can say. That is keeping them at bay. That so to have to the government of India has come out with this innovative product or innovative program of Swachh Bharat mission, where all the politicians, right from the prime minister to the local self governments, that is the municipalities, everybody is involved in this, and they have started this mission. And moreover, in this mission, the building of toilets, the building of public toilets, building of toilets in the homes, building of toilets in the slum areas was a major thing, or major thing which was addressed in this scenario, because the we all know that usage of this toilets is a better sanitation thing where cleanliness, we can say, because it will 50% to 70% problems or diseases are because of this untidy usage of this thing. So it is where the Swachh Bharat mission more focused on the cleanliness and the construction of toilets, public toilets, and creating the more important thing in this Swachh Bharat mission is creating awareness in the common man to use of the toilets, where they should not urinate in the open, defecations at the in the open. So that is the creating an awareness, bringing out an awareness in the common man, more in the urban poor, because and the government has introduced this and concentrated more on the slums only, because as we know the slums are overcrowded, and open defecation can be seen in these slum areas only. So this is an very very innovative and acknowledged program, and everybody participated, right from the Prime Minister of India to the municipal areas. Everybody, all the governments participated in this Swachh Bharat mission and made sure that everybody and the program is a success. So this was a very very acknowledged program, that is the Swachh Bharat mission. Then the another important one is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, urban. Now the we all know that when the government of India introduces any program, mostly it introduces or it launches the program for both the sectors. It might be in the urban sector or in the rural sector. So both the sectors were addressed. So when we are talking about the urbanization, urban governance, then we have to talk about the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban. Now, what is this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana? This is a scheme introduced for the, this is an housing scheme which was introduced by the government of India to address the problem of housing in the urban areas. That is, the government introduced the scheme of constructing of houses at a minimum cost of and providing them for the beneficiaries who are deprived of housing facilities, who are the below poverty line, who cannot afford a house, and to the below poverty line people or the below poverty line citizens. This government has come up with this innovative developmental program known as Pradhana Mantri Awas Yojana. This is a scheme which was introduced for the housing facilities, providing of housing facilities. We can say that these all have come up in an and made the ultimate, we can say, the ultimate decision or the ultimate goal of the government is to provide better living standards and to provide better place of living in the urban areas. That is, so these are the few developmental programs, urban developmental programs, which were introduced by the government of India in the after 2014. Now, this is about the central government. So when we talk about the state government, that is the Telangana. So when we talk about this, the major programs which were a big hit by the Telangana government were Housing for Poor, Mission Bhagiratha, Hyderabad Metro Rail. These are the very, very important and innovative things which were being taken and launched for the urban poor in Telangana, in the state of Telangana. As I told you, the housing for poor, that is 2 BHK. 2 BHK, that KCR, we all know who was the chief minister of Telangana. So he has introduced this housing for poor, that is the double bedroom houses. We all know by the common name, which were being given to the BPL families or the beneficiaries who had white ration cards, who cannot afford a better living or a better house. So this was a very big hit also, because many of the beneficiaries got these houses, and this was a big hit in the rural areas as well, because many of the rural people also got the houses. Now, how do these houses are being constructed? These houses are being constructed in the government lands, and these are being provided to the beneficiaries. This is one of the important developmental program which was introduced in the state of Telangana. Then second one is Mission Bhagiratha. Now this is we can say a pet project of the chief minister of then the chief minister of Telangana. Where now, what is this Mission Bhagiratha all about? It is provision or providing of safe drinking water to the citizens of Telangana through constructing of overhead tanks and constructing of water tanks, and giving or providing good safe drinking water, tap water, I can say. That is, Mission Bhagiratha is all about providing water, tap water, to means staying at their house only, staying at their place only. Water pipelines were being introduced, and a tap at their house only was being provided. So this was a very big hit in the state of Telangana, and for this providing of safe drinking water, water tanks were constructed, overhead tanks were constructed to provide safe drinking water. And if we talk about the Hyderabad city as well, when we talk about the Hyderabad city had more, we can say, provisions, that everyday drinking water was provided, and 20,000 liters of water was given free. There was no billing till the 20,000 liters of water. So these are the urban developmental programs which were introduced by the state of Telangana. Then the third important one is the Hyderabad Metro Rail. Now, the Hyderabad Metro Rail is a boon for the people who are working, or we can say in simple terms, for the workforce, because many of the people are working in the IT sector, they used to face a huge problem traveling from one corner of the city to the other corner of the city. As we all know that the IT sector, is the hub in the high-tech city. So people traveling from one corner of the city to the other side in the peak hours in the traffic was a very, very big disaster. So to address these problems, to address and to have a better connectivity, and to address the problems of the people, and to in the traveling they should have less time, and they should reach their destinations in a very shorter period of time. So the government has come up with this Hyderabad Metro Rail, and the L&T company has constructed this Hyderabad Metro Rail. And this Hyderabad Metro Rail is a public-private partnership component, where the government and the L&T company came together to provide better transportation facilities to the citizens of Hyderabad, we can say. As we know that Hyderabad city is very huge, and the population in the city is also very huge. So, to address the problems of the workforce and to make them traveling time, to make their traveling time very less, the Hyderabad Metro Rail was introduced. So these are the major innovative developmental, urban developmental we can say programs which were introduced at the central level and at the state level as well. So this is all about the Unit 7 Urban Development Programs. Next we have Unit 8 Urban Services. Till now we have discussed about the programs which are being introduced for the urban poor or urban citizens or the urbanites. Now we have to discuss about the services which are being provided by the government to address the problems of the citizens. Now, these urban services is the, we can say, the services have to have a benchmark, a service level benchmark. Benchmark, we can say, is a limit where above that they mean, we can say, no, for example, for a student, I should get 90% or I should get 80%. This is a benchmark which was in a class. If the teacher says that everybody should get above 80, 80 is the benchmark, means every student should strive to get 80 marks or 80 percentage. That is a benchmark. The meaning of a benchmark is that. So now about that only, the student should strive to get more, means above that 80%. That is a benchmark. So the government also should decide or should have to go for the benchmark service level, that are termed as service level benchmarks. With that, what happens? The government will strive to go above, further more to for the give providing better services. If the government does not have any benchmarks set, then it might decide that this whatever we are giving is a good one only, but the citizen might not be a satisfied person. So it is about the service level benchmarks. So now in this service level benchmarks also, the government should set an example and should address these problems. So mostly the government should focus on the the service level benchmarks is the parks and playgrounds. That is, it should set that in every colony or for 500 people a playground should be there, or for 1,000 people a playground should be there, or for 1 square kilometer a playground or a park should be there. That should be a benchmark. With that, what happens? They can calculate and try to provide better services. And next, we can say the next example we can take is a water supply, the provision of safe drinking water, or the this or rain harvesting, all this. That is, the government should come up with the innovative thoughts of creating awareness and explaining the citizens of rain harvesting systems, that is provision of rain harvesting pits, to encourage the local people to have rain harvesting things where it can explain them to how to have a sustainable living. Then the third one is sanitation, that is how to keep the cleanliness in and around their area, whereby creating or setting an example. Then we have stormwater drains. That is to add. Now, what do we understand by the term stormwater drains? Stormwater drains are the drainage system to address the water logging in the rainy season. We come across in the rainy season that the roads, everything will be flooded with the rainwater, and these disaster management teams, the government officials, everybody will be striving to open up the drainage systems or the stormwater drains, all these to make sure that there will be no flooding. So this in the cities, and the government should make sure that the stormwater drains are well equipped and they are being maintained, and they are being before the rainy season they are being maintained. Why? To avoid flooding, this has to be taken care, because as we all know, by the past experiences we have seen that Hyderabad was flooded, and many times it has experienced this flooding situations. So there are n factors related to this flooding. That is more overpopulation, less space, or no better sanitation facilities, or water clogging due to the throwing of garbage in the stormwater drains or in the nalas or the bridges. All these, the small ponds. These are might be the challenges which are being faced. So the government should try to set a benchmark of having a better stormwater drains. Then another important thing is the solid waste management, collection of solid waste, segregation of solid waste, and in the segregation of the solid waste also, dry waste, we can say wet waste, and as well as the hazardous waste. The hazardous waste might be the electronic items. So the government should create an awareness and set a benchmark of making. Now we all know that the government has come up with the providing of two bins to all the households, and also the households also should make efforts and help the government in achieving those benchmarks, because in mostly we see in the households, if the government has provided them two bins for the wet waste one bin and dry waste one bin, but the housemakers or the people, they put everything in one basket or in the one thing, and they throw it in the bins, which might be a very hazardous thing, and moreover the hazardous material as well. That is putting all the electronic items in the same wet and dry bins. So these are all the some of the important benchmarks which have to be taken care of. Then in the services, this is about the services which have to be given to the people through the government. Then we have the service delivery as well, because the service delivery, delivering the goods, providing them necessary things is also one of the, creating awareness is one part, delivering it is another part. So delivering service delivery plays a very very important role, because if the service delivery is not good, then the citizens might not come forward to help the government, and there might be a misunderstanding, and there might be a loss of communication, and there might create some problems in this delivery as well. So the most important service delivery of these is the first and foremost is water supply. As we all know that in urban areas, the municipalities, or in the urban areas, the municipal corporations provide. Now we have the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. In the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, we have the where the water supply is being provided, where we it is now, what do we understand by the water supply? That is a safe drinking water, improved drinking water, and also water conservation. These are the two important things which have to be kept in mind by the government or the municipalities when they are providing the water supply. Why? Because improved water, drinking water. Now, because the improved water means the whatever water is collected and is provided to the citizens cannot be just given to them or provided. It has to be undergo a treatment process. It has to be thoroughly checked, then only it has to be given to the or sent to the people in the urban areas or in the people residing in that municipalities. So we can say that this might be another important one of the aspect. So the water supply, and second one is water conservation. That is, the government should come up with awareness programs how to conserve water. That is, many we see many people when the government is providing them free water, or when the government is giving them better water facilities also, they go for wastage of water, or we see that overflowing of the pipes, tanks, or the breakage of the pipes on the roads. All these are the n number of challenges which are being faced by the government in the service delivery process. So the government should make sure that it has to give or the water supply in a better manner. That is, the delivery of these services should be in a planned manner. So that can be the first important thing. Then the second one is about the water supply. Then the we can say another important point we can discuss here is the treatment of water. As I told you, the whatever water comes from the these reservoirs or the lakes or everything, it cannot be sent however it is. Well, so it has to be treated. Water plants should be there, and they have to be treatment plants should be there, and they have to be the water should be treated, and the chlorine, because we all know that the chlorine is a very important mineral which has to be taken care of. If the chlorine in the water is more, then there are chances of diseases or the ill effects of it. Now, the best example is the Nalgonda district, where we see the chloride water. More content is seen in the groundwater or the chloride. So, with that, this many of the people, citizens in that area are having ill effects of that chloride water, and the many of them, we if you see in that region, many people have leg problems or all other waterborne diseases as well. So these are the when the government is going for service delivery, it has to take care of all these things. Then second one is sanitation. As I told you, sanitation. Everywhere there should be sanitation treatment plants, and there should be the drainage should be clean and neat, and there should be logging of these drains should not be done. Then all this has to be taken care of by the government only. Then the third important thing we can say is the roads. Roads, because a road is the connectivity from one place to another. Because on the roads we see n number of people going to their destinations, moving to their destinations. So the roads, and in the roads is providing of better roads. Potholes should not be there. Then there should the connectivity should be proper, and wherever there is a traffic congestion, the most important thing about roads is the traffic congestion should be avoided. better traffic regulations should be given, more flyovers should be constructed to address the problems of the citizens in this on these roads, we can say. So these are the important service delivery aspects in the governmental, in the, we can say, in the view of the government. So this is, we can say, now what are the issues? What are the, now we have discussed about the service delivery, and we have also discussed about the benchmarks which have to be set by the government and to address the problems of the citizens. Now, there might be some issues, and as we know that if there is anything, then there will be issue also, or the challenges also. So the most important issues or challenges in the service delivery are, the first one is illegal water connections. Illegal water connections, we come across many times that the people, this we see mostly in the slum areas, or in a where more of one water connection will be there, but illegally means without approval from the government, without approval, without taking permission. So with this, what happens, more and more, the calculation of the government will change, because the government decides to provide some water, and it will be, the calculations might be a mismatch. So this is a major challenge. And moreover, the revenue what the government should get, because we all know, everybody, the government collects some tax, so we pay water tax as well. So the water tax, if there are more illegal connections, which are illegal means without permission, without authorization from the government, then the government will lose the revenue, and in turn we are losing our own resources, we can say. Then water leakages, as I told you, the water leakages on roads, or there water leakages, the government should have a thorough inspection and a thorough check of these leakages to address the problems of the citizens. And whereby, moreover, if there is a water leakage, then there will be wastage of water which is of no use. It will be not used for the drinking purpose, nor it can be stored. It is just goes into the drains, which is of no use. And the third one is the overflowing of drains. So we all know that overflowing, that is low maintenance of these drainages or water clogging, all these are the n number of problems when the government now every time the government comes out with many innovative thoughts, ideas to create awareness amongst the people not to throw garbage in the water clogged areas or in the open drains, all this. But everything, we see that everything goes in vain. And when the rainy season comes, we see all the garbage being dumped in that, we're creating water logging. So the overflowing of drains is also a big challenge for the delivery or service delivery of the government. So this is another important point to be remembered. So this is all about the Unit 8 Urban Services. Then we will move on to the next topic, that is urban poverty. Now, we know what is urbanization. We know what is urban. Urban means the people are residing where we don't find the agricultural characteristics. The area where the agricultural characteristics are not seen, only industrialization and more of opportunities or employment can be seen, or the city affairs, we can say. So that is urban. Now, what is urban poverty? Urban poverty is the people who are residing in these urban areas, in the cities, and who are living below the poverty line. They are termed as urban poor. Now, how does the government come up with this calculations or these calculations of urban poverty? What might be the statistics or how the government addresses these issues? In that, first, before moving on to what is urban poverty, what are the methods or strategies which the government has come up is the first we have to know about what is poverty. Poverty is generally considered as a measure where of deprivation of basic needs that are measured internal and lack in terms of lack of resources, that is income, all this etc. So the what is poverty? Poverty is considered as a measure of deprivation of basic needs that are we can say lack of resources or income. So if a person who is residing in a city and who is deprived of the basic resources, that is it can be food, shelter, water, or the income or earning or livelihood. When a person is deprived of all these, then that can be termed as poverty. Now, as I told you, and I have used the term below poverty line. Now, how does the government decide this poverty line? So, the government comes out with deciding this poverty line is it is the poverty line is derived at by identifying the consumption of calories per person. That is the government in the rural areas per person, how much the a person should consume, that is a calorie wise. So in rural areas it is 2400 calories per person. So if a person is getting 2400 calories per person in a day in rural areas, then he is above poverty line. And in urban areas it is 100, 2100 in the urban areas and 2400 in rural areas. Now, why this difference of calories? Because in urban areas, there is less of physical labor. There is less of physical labor. So, there is more of mental labor, that is, more of thinking, more of calculations, or more of mental labor we see. But in rural areas, we see more of physical labor. Hence, they need more strength. So the calories are counted more. So when a person does not get the 2100 calories in one day, then below, if he is getting below that, then that is termed as a poverty line, and that person is considered as a person below poverty line person. So this can be a parameter to check the urban poverty. That is, how many of them are getting in deficit calories. That is, who are not getting 2100 calories per day. Based on this calculations, based on these parameters only, the urban poverty is calculated. Now, when we talk about this urban poverty, we all know that urban poverty is a threat and as well as a thing where to why a threat? Because of this urban poverty, there will be lack of proper ventilation, proper sanitation, and it might create hindrances in the socio-economic aspects or in the development of the country as well. So this can, and it might also, this urban poverty might go for increase in crime as well. Now, when we talk about all this, the urban poverty, we have to talk about the nature of this poverty. Now, what is the nature of this? That is, the lack of regular and secured livelihood. We see daily wage laborers, rack pickers, beggars, all of them who don't get 2 square meal per day and who cannot compensate the 2100 calories per day. So with that, what happens? They are deprived. Why they are deprived? Because of the lack of resources, regular resources, lack of regular income. Because every day they might not get enough or sufficient money to buy the food. We see daily wage laborers. One day they might get the work, the other day they might not get the work as well. So, the work, whatever they get, they have to survive. The family has to survive in that money only till they get the work. So, and the family might consist of 5 people. Then everybody, each person to get 2100 calories is not an easy thing. So, this is leading to deprivation. This is leading to lack of better nutritional food. So this is going leading to deficit calorie intake. Then we can say secured sources of livelihood. Secured means we all know that what do we understand by the term secured? Secured means continuity of work. Continuity of work means now a person who gets salary per month, every month that person is getting means he is secure that he is getting the salary every month. So he can provide, that person can provide sufficient food to the family, nutritional food to the family. But a daily wage laborer or a beggar or a person who earns living by some sort of the other businesses, small businesses. We see hawkers who have buy the sell basic things on their roads, where every day they might not have a good day, they might not get better facility, they might not get better income, because hence their livelihood is not secured. Every day their income might differentiate, that is, there will be a difference of income which is directly, we can say, influence the nutritional intake of the family. So that is an first important one. Second is lack of access to basic services. That is, lack of basic services is, we can say, better drinking water or better sanitation facilities or better livelihoods, all this. So to address all these problems, to address these challenges only, the government has come up with this urban developmental programs and slum developmental programs, we can say. So, to address these problems, and to address these challenges only, we can say the government has come up to these innovative thoughts and innovative programs to address the urban poor and to address the urban poverty elevation programs. So that is another important thing. Now, when we talk about these urban poverty programs or urban developmental programs or urban addressing the urban poverty, the major thing is the slums. The slum improvement or slums or the expansion of slums. Suddenly open land will be there, and within 2 or 3 days we see a slum developing there. One hut, two huts, three huts. Suddenly in a span of 1 week there will be a 100 huts coming up. That is, can be termed, this can be because of migration. That is, we see that one person, if he comes, this is a very important. Then